When I decided to run for leadership, people said, who said she could run? Maybe you could just tell us some of the concerns the women have and we'll make some changes around here. And I thought, you're not catching on. Hi, I'm Nancy Pelosi. I'm House Democratic leader, elected to Congress from the great city of San Francisco in 1987. Power is not influence. You know, people, they'll have these magazine articles that'll say the 100 most influential people in the world. And I look at it and think, that's interesting. That's influence. That's not necessarily power. Power is when you have the power, the ability to make change. Influence is important in making change, but power is where you have the tools and the capacity and the opportunity to do so. So being Speaker of the House, that's real power. I always tell the story of when my first meeting at the White House as a leader, when I went to that meeting with President Bush and the other leaders, Democrats and Republicans, House and Senate, small group at a table, and I wasn't particularly apprehensive about the meeting because I'd been to the White House many times as an appropriator, as an intelligence committee person. And then when the door closed behind me in that room, I realized that this was not like any other meeting I'd ever been to at the White House, that it wasn't like any other meeting that any woman had been to at the White House. When I was sitting there, I could feel crowded in my chair, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, and then I could hear the voices of Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucretia Mott, Sojourner Truth, Alice Paul. They were all sitting there on the chair with me, and I could hear them say, at last, we have a seat at the table. I always thought the American people are so far ahead of Congress in being receptive to a woman president of the United States. I always believed the public was there on that. But then I became Speaker, and now we will have a woman president, and that is very, very exciting. As long as you have an infinite pool of people to convince, and if you show them your vision, your knowledge, your strategic thinking, present it with the eloquence that a presidential candidate will do, a woman can win, a woman will win. I feel quite certain. To all of the women, I say this: know your power, the unique contribution you can make, whether it's in government and politics, whether it's in the corporate world, whether it's in the academic world, whether it's in our military. You are a unique person, and there is really a need for women to make an additional contribution.